Hey guys, what's up? Scottish Dick here once again, and this is review slash thoughts on. Okay, now, I actually got two games here because I kind of wanted to do both of them, you know, a wee review thing, but they're both so similar I thought, fuck it, let's throw them both in the same video, and those games are Kirby's Return to Dreamland, well, Kirby's Adventure Wii over here, I don't know, they gave it a different name, I don't know why, and Rayman Origins. Now, yeah. You all know that I'm a big platformer junkie, and I was quite tempted to pick these games up, and I did, and here are my sort of thoughts on. I figured I'd just like break them down into like categories and you know, just compare them and see what one fares in what area and shit. So yeah, here we go. First, let's talk about graphics. Okay, now, like most 2D platformers and sort of like kid-oriented games these days, they don't really rely that much on technical prowess. It's all about, you know, the sort of how charming they can get to look. And both games do look pretty charming, you know, they're both nice to look at. Kirby Wii, like, in particular, obviously, you know, you've got your cute stuff, because Kirby is a pink ball and shit, and again, the game is nice to look at, but I gotta say, right, this is a GameCube game. It's a friggin' GameCube game. Apparently there is some talk that this is, you know, the GameCube game that was originally supposed to come out, you know, like 10 friggin' years ago or something. Well, okay, maybe not that long, but yeah, but it got scrapped and now they've just like re-released it finally for, well, not re-released, they finally brought it out for the Wii. And I'm willing to believe that, because the game does look like a GameCube, you know, it could easily run on that. Not like Kirby's, well, Kirby's Epic Yarn could, I guess, since it was incredibly 2D, but I would definitely say Kirby's Epic Yarn was a better looking game than this. And Rayman Origins, in terms of graphics, I'm going to have to say this is probably the better game. Not because, you know, this is a PS3 game, because obviously this game is on the Wii. You know, obviously you've got a higher resolution here, but the hand-drawn backgrounds do look fucking beautiful. And the only nitpick I have, and this is kind of big, is the way the characters look. Rayman in particular, you know, when he's standing still or when he's, you know, he looks friggin', he looks so, yeah, he doesn't look like the Rayman I know and love, basically, so, but yeah. In terms of graphics, I'd give that round to Rayman. Okay, now, music-wise, Kirby wins. I gotta say, because the friggin' tunes in this game are just friggin' catchy. I really enjoy listening to them. You know, I'm humming them as I go about my day and all that jazz. And Rayman's music is kind of like the character models, kind of weird. It's not bad, it's just weird. I don't know, go listen to it yourself, but I'd give that one to Kirby's Adventure. Okay, that's 1-1 now. In terms of length, well, Kirby's Adventure has 7 worlds, and Rayman has 10, you know. They're actually very, very similarly structured, you know, in terms of level progression. And each world you've got, like, from 3 to 5 actual levels, then you do a boss and whatnot. And it really is about the same amount of content, you know, per world in both games. So, Rayman should technically be the longer game since it's got 10, but Kirby does have, like, these wee missions that you can do later on in the game. You know, like, just wee challenge missions, and they are actually pretty fun to do and can be pretty hard to get platinum trophies on. Not platinum trophies, platinum medals, yeah. And, you know, there's also just other little, like, mini-games that you can muck about with in Kirby as well. So, with that added content, I'd say it comes to about really even, actually, you know. And obviously both games have like a shitload of collectibles to keep you going back to the levels, you know, and sort of try and get you to the 100%. It can be mega addicting, you know. If I did, obviously both games have a 4-player co-op, which I never experienced because I don't have any friends. But funnily enough, the PS3 version of Rayman Origins doesn't support online multiplayer, which is really weird. I can understand on the Wii version. I don't know, maybe they didn't want one version to be better than the other, I guess, but I don't know, that's kind of weird in my eyes, because I did have a few friends that I was planning to play this with, so it kind of sucks in that regard. So yeah, in terms of, you know, lasting appeal and whatnot, they really are friggin' neck and neck, I mean, in terms of what you can do with them. Granted, I did beat both of them in like a couple of sittings. You know, they're both, the actual main game is about 7, maybe even 8 hours long. Obviously that number does go up quite a bit when you're trying to 100% it, but in terms of the main game, about 7-8 hours-ish, so yeah. And now the most important thing, gameplay. Really does go to show just how different 2D platformers can be in terms of gameplay when they're all, you know, 2D platformers are essentially you're just going about and jumping. So yeah, Kirby's Adventure actually really plays it safe. You know, it actually plays pretty much exactly like Kirby's Adventure for the NES. You know, you jump, you copy abilities, and you just got to get to the end of the level. But one thing I was actually very impressed with, there is a very minimum amount of Wii waggle controls, you know, compared to Donkey Kong Country Returns, which I hate, by the way. You know, there's basically no waggle. When Kirby, you know, inhales his enemies, you can actually jerk the Wii remote and his inhale will get a bit stronger and he can suck up bigger enemies, and like things like that are just, you know, fine, you know, and there wasn't really a button you could have assigned it to when you're holding the Wii remote sideways, so... But yeah, I don't hate all motion controls, but I am just impressed how little of it Kirby's Adventure does implement. But yeah, apart from that, it is very typical traditional Kirby. But one thing I gotta say though, near the end of the game, it actually got pretty tough to me. I mean, I was dying quite a bit, especially on some of the bosses. It was kind of tough, I was really surprised. You know, like, Kirby's Epic Yarn is, like, really stupidly easy, because obviously it's impossible to die and all that. And the real challenge comes from you wanting to get, like, the most gems and stuff. But Return to Dreamland, it can be kind of tough. Not, like, pull your hair out frustrating, but just the right amount of challenge to keep you, you know, enticed about playing, so... In that regard, I'm also quite impressed, because, you know, Kirby games have a huge knack for being fucking easy as hell, so yeah. Good job, Kirby. That was definitely fun to play. And Rayman Origins, obviously going back to the 2D formula, you'd think it would take after the PS1 game a wee bit. It doesn't actually, and it actually controls a bit like New Super Mario Bros. Wii in a bit. Because, you know, you've got a downward attack, you can wall jump, and you've got a dash button that you can hold down. And this is obviously just me, but it was actually bugging me when it didn't control exactly like New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Because you hold down the dash button, and, I don't know, and you sort of initiate, you know, to go a step forward. Rayman will, he'll go his top speed right away, you know. Obviously when you held down the, hold on. The fuck is it? We'll use this. Okay. You know, obviously when you held down the one button in a Mario game and then you went forward, it would take a wee while to pick up speed, you know, and then you could sort of time your jump accurately. But in a Rayman Origins, when you hold down the dash button, I know this isn't a PS3 controller, but just pretend, alright? When you hold down the dash button and then move forward, Rayman will just like sort of burst forward at top speed right away. And that, obviously you can adapt to it, but it kind of threw me off at first, and I think I think it sort of like made me, you know, not like the controls as much because of that. But obviously it's not like an inherent flaw, it's just something I noticed. But apart from that, Rayman, obviously it is pretty tough as well. The levels are split up into sort of rooms, I guess you could call them. And you've got to find secrets, and if you die you get sent back to the beginning of the room. You know, room in inverted commas, by the way. And it can be really fun to, you know, just try and get through it without dying, basically. And also collecting lums can be fucking addicting, because there's so many. The game rewards you, obviously, for getting as many lums as possible. You don't have to get every lum in a level. You know, if you were to get every lum in the level, you'd be at this and you've got OCD, you'd be at this for the rest of your life, honestly. But it really is enticing to go back and see how many different lums you can collect. That's sort of an aspect that Kirby doesn't have. You know, you've just got your sort of main collectibles, those being the gears in Kirby, and in Rayman it's those little pink things, I can't remember what they're called. But yeah, but which one do I prefer in terms of gameplay? I didn't actually decide this before making the video, so I don't know. I really like both games too. I have no idea actually. I really, really like both of them. Seriously. If you're a platformer fan, you know, definitely pick up both of them, because it is actually really, really worth it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. They both win, everybody's happy. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that, guys. Yeah, see you after, thanks for watching, bye bye!